What's up, everybody? This is the Last Round podcast. You have me, Roberto Negrete,
You got me, Asael Negrete.
and usually there would be another one, but he's at a national tournament right now.
Yeah, we're missing a third. The third of the Negrete brothers, but he'll be back next week.
Yeah, he was competing at the national college boxing tournament, so he went to go do that. He placed third. Not too bad for someone who has 6 amateur fights. So he did pretty good. Excited to see what he does later.
Yeah, we'll definitely bring you guys all the details next week, so stay tuned, tap in, and next week we're going to be with him, and we're going to grill him on everything he experienced over there in North Carolina.
Yeah. We're going to talk some boxing. Let's talk about the Juggernaut.
Yep.
Yeah, the Juggernaut. He against Big Bang.
Yeah.
I don't know how to pronounce his name.
Joe Joyce last night went up against, or I guess afternoon, depending where you are. He went up against Zilei Zhang. I think that's how you pronounce it. And
Big Bang.
Big Bang. And it was a Big Bang fight. It was a masterclass performance, honestly, by Zilei Zhang. He just completely dominated Joe Joyce all 6 rounds of the fight. And he really placed himself back into the big talk.
Mix.
Yeah, big talk for really big fights in 2023. Because, as we all know, Joe Joyce was a big contender and a big prospect coming up. And he was scheduled, hopefully, to fight like Tyson Fury, fight Anthony Joshua, get some big names. And, now he's out of the door, and now we got a new contender in the mix, Zilei Zhang. So, it was a beautiful performance by him last night.
Yeah, this is a huge upset. This is definitely exactly like last week's Fundora and Mendoza. Similar to that, George Joyce was the one who has been sparring Tyson Fury. They were even having talks to him against Wilder, since Wilder was thinking of coming back, and they were thinking, why not throw Joyce in there, Joyce in there, in the mix, because he's up there. But I think Big Bang really shut all that up.
Yeah, he shut down the noise.
Yeah, I think now instead he would be taking Joyce's place.
Yeah.
Now for a title, he could fight Usyk. I think he could fight Usyk if Usyk doesn't fight Tyson Fury. We don't know, but he's definitely in there now. Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely, and he's rather old, so it was
39.
Yeah, it's quite surprising, quite surprising seeing him back in the top rankings for the heavyweight division, and he definitely has a very bright future. He can definitely get some big fights coming up after this spectacular win against Joe Joyce. So I'd be interested to see how he matches up against all the other heavyweights.
Yeah, I have a question. What do you think is gonna happen with the Juggernaut? How does he bounce back from this victory? Like, who's his next opponent?
Well, I think they're gonna build him up again. I don't think he's gonna come back and go into like big fights, those fights that he was taking before this loss. But I think he will come back stronger, because he definitely has some holes as a fighter. He's very slow. And I even before this loss, I did not see him being able to beat an Anthony Joshua or a Tyson Fury or a Usyk. I really just couldn't see it. And I think this fight is going to show him that, hey, this old veteran in the game, Zilei Zhang, was able to, dominate you. And if you wanna get to the top of the heavyweight division, you still got some work to do. And hopefully he comes back well-spirited and, gets back into those contender fights and hopefully gets a title fight.
Yeah. Did the Chinese dude, did he have any losses?
Yeah, I think he had one loss against, but it was a controversial loss. I don't remember who it was against, but it was a guy that we knew. I think we watched this fight, and we both were like,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, but I can't remember off the top of my head who he fought. His one loss was to, but he's a very strong competitor. I think he was a silver medalist.
Oh, for the Olympic Games?
I think so.
Oh, wait.
Yeah,
Oh.
I think, or maybe, yeah, maybe. I don't quite remember, but I know he's a veteran of the game, obviously, 39 years old, and
It was possibly 39 years young.
Yeah.
He was faster than, well, maybe not fast.
No, he was faster.
He wasn't really faster, but not only that, he was a lot more explosive than the younger fighter, and that's pretty
impressive.
Impressive, and that's normally not the case. Usually, it's the other way around.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if you look at the fight, I mean, Joyce just could not get off on Zhilei Zhang. It was a completely dominating performance by him. Straight lefts, combinations, 1, 2, 3s. Joyce couldn't get off, and it was a spectacular performance. He shut his eye early in the fight, and it just kept on getting worse and worse. Those left hands were
targeting.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, oh, of course, he was piecing him up. So I'm very impressed by Zhilei Zhang, and because I always knew he was a good fighter, but he showed something new. I feel in this. He showed a new fire, a fire that you usually don't see out of a 39-year-old. Showed like he was in his 20s. Yeah, just like you said, 39 years young. And yeah, I'm very excited to see his future.
So, let me ask you this then: if you didn't think Joyce was ready for a Wilder or a Fury, do you think this guy can go up against either of them two, or even Usyk?
I am this.
If he's 39 years young.
Yeah, maybe he could go up against like Anthony Joshua, because at this moment, and I believe personally Anthony Joshua's career is on the ropes. I think that a couple more losses and even one more loss and he's done. So he definitely didn't perform very well his last fight against Franklin, I believe.
Franklin is a good tough fighter. I think he's been I think he's definitely taken the long way to get to the position he's at. He definitely had to fight guys, take riskier fights and stuff like that. Well, not as well protected as AJ, but he's just a tough guy. He's very tough. I think he only had like 1 or 2 losses or something.
Yeah, I do think so.
And so, credit to him, but definitely if AJ wants to be considered, still a top heavyweight or within the top heavyweights, he should have stopped,
Franklin.
And I think out of him, you got Ruiz, you got Fury, you got Wilder. I think he's the weakest one.
Yeah, absolutely. I think if they gave him the Andy rematch, it'd be a problem. Yeah. So I think Zhang could definitely fight someone like Anthony Joshua because he can't take any more easy fights anymore. I mean, he's 39 years old. So he has to just get the last couple of fights out of him and retire as a world champion.
Yeah, and since AJ doesn't have the belts, he can definitely have that. That would be a mega fight.
Yeah,
that would be the dude's biggest paycheck ever.
Absolutely.
So and then beating AJ will definitely give him the Usyk fight or Fury fight.
I think it's also even a good fight for Anthony Joshua because, after that underperforming victory over Franklin, a lot of people still had questions and doubts about him. Yeah, so I think it'd be a good fight because now Zhilei Zhang has some hype around him now. He has a voice. Yeah. He beat Joyce, the upcoming prospect that everyone was hoping would be the next heavyweight. Yeah. So I think it'd be a great fight for Anthony Joshua as well. I would really want to see that fight, and I would want to see how it plays out because Zhilei Zhang showed a tremendous left hand straight down the middle that Joyce just couldn't get rid of.
Yeah. And if he doesn't get AJ, who would you like to see him next? I guess if AJ wasn't because he's still not ready. I think people still doubt him, and I think he himself is still a little
shook up.
Yeah, he's still a little not sure if he has it still or if it's gone away. So possibly he said he was gonna fight in the summer, and now he's gonna fight in December. So we'll see what he chooses. But if he can't get AJ, who would you want to see?
I'd want to see him fight against any of the big names in the heavyweight division. I'm thinking Andy Ruiz. I'm thinking Victor Ortiz. Even I'm thinking Tyson Fury. I'm thinking Dylan White, Chisora, anybody of these that have names that could be a headline super fight. I think he should take some of these fights.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I don't know. It just really depends if Usyk and Fury can get their stuff straightened out. Because I think those two are. I think they will fight, and I think the winner should fight. I think the Chinese dude should fight.
Zilei Zhang
Zilei Zhang.
should fight the winner of Fury and Usyk.
Exactly.
Well, I don't know. It depends, because I feel like if Fury were to win, I think he'd just retire, honestly. Because isn't he already retired?
I don't know.
I mean, what's up with him? He's just a crazy gypsy, you know. Like
he's kind of confused.
Yeah.
One day he's retired. One day he's
back. Yeah.
Calling out whoever has whoever has the belts. So yeah, it's interesting to see how the division plays on.
Yeah, the heavyweight division definitely got a bit of a shakeup last night.
More, yeah, because it all depends. Joe Joyce is a tough dude. I think he'll come back strong. I think it was just an eye injury. It wasn't like he got flat out, laid out.
Mm-hmm.
There's been guys who get knocked out and sometimes they don't come back 100%. I feel like he will come back 100%, but like Zilei Zhang definitely put his name out there. I think. Is there any other fights you would like to see other than that?
Well, I think we just completely. This just occurred to me now. I think we just completely forgot that maybe Joe Joyce would want the rematch. We got a round 2 for Joe Joyce versus Zilei Zhang. Maybe Joe Joyce thinks it was a fluke and wants that get back. How do you think about that? What do you think about that?
It's possible. The thing I didn't like is that when the doctor told the ref to stop the fight, Joe Joyce didn't react. He was just kind of like, oh, damn.
He kind of accepted it.
I would have been like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You're not going to you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I don't know. I feel like Joe Joyce he's a fucking warrior. I think he's going to go out on his shield.
But he didn't show that last night.
He didn't kind of, so we'll see.
Yeah.
It's possible. I'm not sure if it's in the rematch, but I would definitely like to see that fight.
Yeah, I think honestly, the fans would like to see it. I think if Joe Joyce were to get that victory in that second fight, it'd shut out all the doubters and it'd say, hey, maybe the first one was just a fluke and it was just like an off night. Mm-hmm. But that I guess it'd be all depending on Joe Joyce if he believes he can beat him, or if he believes he was off that night, or Zilei Zhang was just the better fighter. Yeah, absolutely.
Who would you like Wilder to fight?
Wilder, I don't know what Wilder wants, honestly. Because Wilder, he semi-retire. He went on some spiritual journey, and now he's back. And he showed against his last fight against Hellenius or
Robert something.
Yeah. He showed against his friend. They used to be friends or sparring partners. Yeah. Probably. That he completely knocked him out. Yeah. So
he knocked him out going backwards.
That's impressive.
That's godlike given power.
Yeah, and Deontay Wilder has that touch of death, like absolutely, and he definitely displayed it his last fight, that he still has it even after all those Tyson Fury losses. Yeah. So he's still a extremely dangerous contender in the heavyweight division. I'd love to see him up against Anthony Joshua still after all these years.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to see AJ and Wilder. Like this year, I think that would be pretty cool. I mean, Wilder hasn't fought. He hasn't even stated if he's going to fight or not, or they're looking for something.
Like, I remember when the negotiations between Tyson Fury and Usyk went off. Wilder tweeted, I think he said he was all like, "Oh, if Tyson doesn't fight Usyk, I'll fight Usyk." So he still wants those big fights. He still wants to come back. And he's still calling Tyson Fury a cheater. He's still saying, yeah, he is. He's still calling Tyson Fury a cheater, saying this and that. So he still has a big mouth. He definitely still has that touch of death. He's a very dangerous fighter. I'd love to see him up against Anthony Joshua, Andy Ruiz.
How old is he?
He's in his 30s. I know that. But he's definitely in the back end of his career.
He's older than Fury, right?
Than Fury? I don't believe so. I think Fury is slightly older, but I can't confirm that. But he's definitely on the back end of his career. I mean, he's coming off of like that trilogy. Takes a lot against Fury. Takes a lot off the body, you know. Yeah,
for both fighters. But I think since he lost, he took the most beating. Definitely his body felt it the most out of them.
His body and his mind.
Yeah,
I think Tyson Fury really broke him.
Yeah, broke him. He went on the spiritual journey.
Yeah, he did. He went on a spiritual journey. He started talking about, I don't know,
ayahuasca.
Yeah,
he went on the Mike Tyson podcast, I think,
And talked about it?
Yeah, I think he even asked Mike what about like psychedelics and stuff like that, and how it's helped him and stuff like that. Well, I know him and Mike talked about it a little bit, but
Yeah.
I don't know if he maybe he took ayahuasca and then decided was like, no, I'm still.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. I think he actually did. Like, he was contemplating retirement after that third Tyson Fury loss, and he said he wasn't sure if he was going to retire, and then he went on some spiritual journey, and he said, I still got one more in me.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the heavyweight division is still very, very interesting right now. Hopefully, we get that Alexander Usyk versus Tyson Fury fight just to unify the division and see who is the kingpin.
Yeah, also, I like Tyson Fury. I'm very much, I think we both can agree.
Big fan.
Very big fans of the Gypsy King. But sometimes como que, like, he be like, not wanting to give like the fights. Like,
He's a bit crazy.
He's a little bit crazy. He's a little indecisive of what exactly he wants to do. I think if he was officially retired, I think Usyk would have fought someone else already.
Yeah, I think he's one of those guys, and I think this has happened so much in boxing and the UFC, and I guess in every sport. I'm thinking Tom Brady. Everyone always says they retire and then they come back. So especially if they're at an age where they retired at a high point in their career, then they usually come back. If they like get knocked out in their last fight, then they may not come back. But Tyson Fury retired after knocking out Dylan White.
Yeah.
Remember in England? And then he retired. So he was still at a high point of his career. No wonder he wants to come back. He was still whooping ass. Like, can you blame the man? But I think he is definitely a little bit crazy.
Yeah, he's holding it up for, I think, the rest of the fans and the rest of the fighters and stuff like that. So, we'll see. Transitioning
to the other fights that happened yesterday, we had Creator Clash 2. Headlined by Alex Wassabi and iDubbbz, and there was like 12 fights in the undercard.
The card it had quite a bit of fights from various influencers of various backgrounds. I know there was a chess girl. I know there was a girl that like every 30 days she was doing like
a different challenge.
Yeah, she would get really good within a month. That's pretty
cool.
Pretty cool. Interesting. There was a dad.
There was a dad. There was a son. There was everything last night.
It was like I don't know if you saw this video like on like Instagram or something like that. It was like a dad
beating up his son.
Yeah. Both of them fought.
I know.
But, like other people.
Other people. Yeah, the blonde guy won actually, right? The kid.
Yeah, he was like the Coco.
And then the dad, I saw. I think they just call him the dad. Yeah, which is kind of strange, but moving beyond that, I saw his ring walk.
That was no ring walk, bro. That was like a Mike Tyson, ring walk. But like he was running.
That boy sprinted to the ring, like it was insane. I was like, what is he doing? It lasted like 2 seconds, and then he jumped over the rope, but he fell. So like, I was like, oh, he kind of fucked it up. But
he tried to do that Prince Nasihamed type ring entry.
That's what I was thinking.
The flip, like he completely butchered that.
He did not have that athleticism.
No.
Yep.
Very unathletic dude, but I think he still won.
I think he won. Yeah. Yeah, it was. I mean, there was so much fights last night. A lot going on, but honestly, the main one that I was really interested in was that main event, the iDubbbz versus Alex Wassabi. I could not wait for that fight, and I don't know if it didn't disappoint me, but I don't know if it was what I expected.
It's not what I expected because I really thought iDubbbz was gonna win.
Yeah,
I really wanted iDubbbz to win. I think, like when I was looking at the facts, like I was looking at the numbers. He fought Dr. Mike at 180. His last fight was at 180 against a bigger dude, and he kept coming forward. He kept getting hit. And I thought at a lower weight class, at 165, I think is what he fought.
Alex Wassabi?
Yeah. He didn't. It looked like he looked weaker, I think, which is kind of interesting. So that kind of like threw me off a whole lot. So, no, it was definitely not what I was expecting. After the first round, I really thought Alex was going to stop him.
Yeah.
He should have stopped him.
Honestly, he could have stopped him. I believe that. And I think that, I don't know. I just thought Alex Wassabi was gonna be too much for iDubbbz. I watched a little bit of iDubbbz's last fight, and he was against Dr. Mike. He definitely showed a lot of heart. He showed he had that dog in him for real, you know. So, I understood that iDubbbz was tough.
Yeah.
But I really thought Alex Wassabi, especially after that first round, he was gonna stop him. It was just he was completely dominating him, and iDubbbz was too slow. He was not explosive at all. He'd just walk in like hands semi down, and Alex would clip him on the counters.
That hook
Was
the first 2 rounds. The hook
went crazy for Alex Wassabi. It was a very, and he tried it all the rounds, but as we saw the fight progress, we saw that Alex Wassabi, there were some questions on his gas tank, which I thought was kind of interesting because in his last fight against Deji, he showed a pretty decent gas tank. So I'm surprised that he got tired in that third round. He simply lost because he was tired. He just could not throw anymore, and iDubbbz was just walking him down.
Yeah, he got tired for like no reason. Like I assumed that by the 4th round, he was just gonna completely like stop iDubbbz.
Yeah.
I just assumed that. I didn't think he had the power. I think he had the volume, and I think he was just going to continue to touch him, and eventually iDubbbz was going to go down. But for whatever reason, iDubbbz definitely came out showing a lot of heart, you know, and at points, and even points in the 4th round, but during a lot of the times in the 3rd round, Alex was holding on just because of iDubbbz.
Exhaustion.
Exhaustion. Here. And I assumed he was going to do that since the beginning, but no, he didn't.
No, yeah, I mean, iDubbbz definitely showed what he showed his last fight, and that was hard. That was great. That was, yeah, you beat me the last 2 rounds, but I'm gonna come back in this 3rd round just like the fight started. And I guess Alex Wassabi either didn't expect that or wasn't sure that was gonna happen because he seemed like he ran out of answers. For a second there, I thought the fight was gonna be a 2-2 draw because he did not throw anything that 3rd round, and iDubbbz solely won because he was going forward, throwing punches, being the aggressor.
Yeah, that fight could have also been a 2-2, like
a draw.
Yeah, iDubbbz. What were the scorecards again?
I think one of them was a draw. Actually,
was a draw,
and then the other 2 were 3-1. Yeah, so 49-47, I think,
iDubbbz
or 46.
That last round.
Yeah,
he just needed to show heart, but
yeah.
Bro, like, he didn't have, like, at least one punch that was connecting.
Yeah.
Every punch was missing.
Yeah.
He couldn't land anything, and he was within,
punching distance.
Yeah. And he couldn't. He would always miss, so I was like, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. It's kind of sad to see iDubbbz, you know, because I'm sure he works hard. I'm sure he definitely works hard, and his cardio is there. His heart is there. His grit is there. But just that athleticism, that like natural explosiveness, that speed, it doesn't seem to be there.
Is he a gamer? He has that gamer.
Yeah, he has that gamer build. Yeah, he does. I'm not gonna lie to you, he does. I don't know if he was a gamer. He was like one of those expose channels that like targeted other YouTubers. So, but he was never like a gym guy. Obviously, looking at him, you know. But
Myth? Well, we're just comparing Myth. Like, he's a gamer, dude, but he actually looked pretty impressive.
Yeah, he looked pretty impressive. He showed that knockout power, bonk, just a right hand, sent his opponent down. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I think it might just be like naturally, he's just naturally not explosive, you know? Some fighters are obviously more explosive than others, and maybe iDubbbz just lacks that.
I think so.
Yeah.
And it's plus, what is he? He's like 33?
Yeah, he's 33, I believe.
He's not going to get more explosive.
Yeah.
He could get more explosive if he wanted to take this more serious, but after last night, I don't think he's going to want to.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that Alex Wassabi post-fight interview. Started getting the crowd chanting one more time to iDubbbz, and then because I think originally it was planned that iDubbbz said if he loses this fight, then he's gonna retire. And he lost the fight. But then Alex Wassabi was like, everyone in here in the stadium wants you to keep on fighting. So what do you say? And what did he say?
Man, he said, I guess.
he said, if you insist, Alex. That was the most... He did not want to say yes. That was the most, like, I don't know. It
Get out of
just
my face, bro.
yeah,
Like,
he's
most polite way.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's like Alex did such a big thing, got on the rope, started chanting this and that, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know if iDubbbz is gonna continue this journey because obviously he might lack the explosiveness naturally, but there are ways to increase it through training.
Mm-hmm.
But that's gonna take a lot of sacrifice for him, and I don't know if he wants to do that. So and it's totally fine if he doesn't. So that'd be interesting to see if he actually meant those words that he told Alex, and he retires or he decides to fight one more time.
You know what I think would be funny?
Hmm.
If iDubbbz actually, because for me, I think my personal opinion, I don't think he's gonna fight no more. I think he's done.
I think so.
Yeah,
My gut tells me that.
Yeah, and this was what was it a pro bot?
Yeah, supposedly it
no,
was
here in
3 minutes.
yeah, 10 hours. No, it was like 2 minutes.
No,
3 minutes.
No, the main event was 3 minutes.
3
Yep,
minutes.
yep.
His other fight was 5 rounds, but that was considered an amateur bout though.
Probably.
But no headgear.
No headgear. Yeah.
Yeah, and these last 2 fights he definitely got touched. I'm pretty sure he's like, nah. It's possible he might be seeing stuff now.
He felt that power and he was like, "Nah, I don't want any more of this."
I just think it's hilarious that if he actually does fight at least one more time, but Alex retires, I'm gonna be so pissed because we're not gonna see the Deji versus Wassabi 2 rematch.
I don't think Alex would retire after this fight.
He said 1 more year.
When did he say that?
In an interview.
In an interview? Oh, I don't even remember.
He said 1 more year and then I'm gonna retire.
Mm-hmm.
So he just fought. I don't see him fighting.
I think he can fight this year.
He could fight this year. What was his last fight though? How often is
Deji.
How long?
And that was last year, like kind of around this year, I think, or this time. I think it was like it's been like a year type,
He fights a year?
But I mean, I think they could set it up to where Alex Wassabi and Deji too.
Deji would have to win.
If Deji beats Swarms, because I think it was announced officially that Deji's gonna fight Swarms, which is I don't know if but I think Deji's taking pretty easy fights fighting Swarms, but if he gets that victory,
good though.
Yeah.
Transformation.
I have seen, and that's impressive, and I'm sure he's working hard, but I don't think what I'm saying. I don't know, but if Deji beats Swarms, they could Alex Wassabi and Deji could fight on a Misfit card like later this year, like at the end of the year.
There's more money on there, right?
Yeah, on Misfits, absolutely on Misfits, because on Creator Clash, I mean they get money, but it's a lot goes to charity. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if they're doing it for free. But I know I think most of it is going like to charity. Yeah, they're like raising money for a lot of charities. So the big payday is on the Zone, on Misfits, and Misfits is having a ton of events this year. They have one like every month. It's crazy. So I think if Deji can get that victory, they could get that rematch
at the end of the year, maybe.
Yeah, and I'd like to see that. Honestly,
what if he doesn't win?
Deji? Yeah. Oh, I think that might be the end. If Deji loses against Swarms on May 13th, if Deji loses against Swarms on May 13th, then I think that is the end of Deji. I think that he has to retire and that he has to leave the fighting to his brother.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be very hard to bounce back because, I mean, who would he fight to, like, try to get back in the...
Exactly. Like, he can't fight Fuzi again.
Fuzi retired.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I don't even have him in my top 10, like influencer / YouTube.
Absolutely not.
Top 10.
Absolutely not. I think that Deji's he just has too much like losses. I guess he lost like against a TikTok kid who was 18 years old. like Deji's, you know what I'm saying? So like he got that spectacular victory against Fuzi, and that's great and all, but let's look at Fuzi. Like who, like Fuzi has Fuzi won a fight?
No,
he hasn't won a fight. He lost. He won a spar against Alex Wasabi.
That's a spar.
That's a spar, and he's like 30 pounds heavier.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. And then he fought Slim with headgear and got his nose broken. Insane. Like it showed Absolutely terrible.
No head movement.
No even like your guard up. Like no defense at all. His defense was, this cranium. So it was crazy. And did he have one more fight or did he fight Deji after?
I think that was. Yeah.
He just fought Slim.
Yeah, I think. Didn't he get fat too for like a second?
I'm not sure.
No?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think actually maybe, yeah, cause then he went into the Deji fight in great shape.
Phenomenal.
Did you see? Yeah, he was ripped.
Yo, I really thought Deji was gonna lose.
I thought Deji was gonna lose too. I'm gonna be honest. I really thought so because
he performed like the best.
The best, yeah. But I mean, the bar was set so low. Like Fuzi, he just had no defense. Like if Deji threw punches, he was gonna win.
Yeah, if he threw punches because they were gonna land. Like,
Exactly.
He was not moving. I really thought he was gonna be moving and shit. No, he just looked good for the cameras.
Yeah.
Man, for that weigh-in
He
picture.
he just looked good. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So yeah. Talk about unathleticism. Yeah, Fuzi is like, he's very unathletic.
Yeah, Fuzi looks.
He looks
looks can be deceiving.
Looks can be deceiving. Yup, you got a point there. Yeah.
But maybe, do you think that maybe he's just not a good boxer? Because like, can you imagine?
It could be.
All their star athletes go into
Boxing.
It's I don't see LeBron boxing. I don't see Tom Brady.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. It could be.
Maybe. What does he do? Has he done any other sports? Does he do like have any hobbies and stuff like that?
I don't think he does any sports. I think he just like he used to lift weights. Like he'd always be sometimes in good shape, and then like he'd get fat sometimes, and then he'd like lose weight again. Yeah, he was like one of those weird. Yeah, I don't know. It was kind of strange, but he was always like in decent shape. Or when he wanted to be, he was in decent shape.
Oh, okay.
He'd hit the gym, but he wouldn't do any sports, and I guess it showed. He doesn't have a knack for boxing.
No,
that's definitely true. So Deji got that victory against Fuzi, and now he's the king of the world. And then he got that fight against Mayweather, and he gave him a black eye. And everyone.
Yeah, I forgot. That's the reason why.
Now Deji's hype is back up, acting like he can fight Jake Paul again.
Is that what he's be saying?
That's what his fans be saying.
Oh, his fans.
Yeah,
that's one thing.
Oh no, but like that. I mean, I'm talking like the space be like talking like, yo, he should get that Jake Paul rematch. I'm like, huh? Like who? Deji? Like what the no? So he got a fight coming up against Swarms. We'll see how that goes. If he looks dominant, if he looks good, he could get a Alex Wassabi rematch. I don't know who else he would fight.
Yeah, if he doesn't end up fighting Alex Wassabi, let's say in theory he beats Swarms, but doesn't fight Wassabi. Who does he fight next?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm really not sure because.
Do you think he's too small for that weight class too?
What weight is it? I don't even remember.
I feel like Swarms has just kept losing weight ever since the KSI fight.
Yeah.
Lower weight class.
Yeah, and then also.
Because he looks pretty slim.
Well, Swarms fought Ryan Taylor. Remember that guy that he beat in one punch, and then they stopped because he supposedly like hit his eye or I don't know. And but Ryan Taylor fought Slim. Yeah, so I don't know what weight. I don't know if he's around the weight of Slim. Oh my god, he better pray that he doesn't get that fight. Because Slim sleeps him.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Who's the guy you think that you could beat? Because I'm going down the list and it's pretty hard. I'm not gonna lie. No Jake Paul, Tommy, KSI. Well, I don't think he would ever fight KSI. But Logan.
No Salt Poppy.
No, definitely.
No Slim.
No Slim.
Yeah, it's like.
Do you think he beats Jarvis?
Jarvis, I think
Jarvis beats him.
I think Jarvis is like 160.
I
think they can make that fight because I don't remember.
Better weight class
for Deji. Yeah, because Deji's like 5'8". Yeah, and he's a pretty wide boy, so yeah. I don't know. We'll have to see because next week we got Kingpin.
Oh, that's this week, right?
Yeah. Oh, this week. Yeah, you're right. That's this week. Nick, this week we got Kingpin.
Man, we got a lot.
We got Jarvis. Yeah. So yeah, I guess we'll have to see how Jarvis performs in the Kingpin tournament, and also Gib. I completely forgot about Gib or Austin McBroom. They both beat Deji, honestly.
Have you seen that's another guy who looks pretty phenomenal.
Phenomenal shit. I saw.
I think that Twitter picture that I saw, it was like one. I have it on my phone. He went from like 188 to like 170.
Gib?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Like he looks like that, and that was against who do you fight there?
I am not sure.
Dimitri. Dude, is that Bobo?
Yeah, what's that? What's Bobo? What the hell?
And then
Yeah, I saw that picture. He looks in great shape. Like, he looks ready to go.
I think he's gonna kick his ass.
I think he's gonna mop the floor with Austin McBroom. Oh my gosh, I think it's gonna be way worse than the first fight. Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah, he's I feel like just like how Deji lost his first fight, like he lost against Jake Paul, like the same dude that Deji lost to, and he definitely like learned quite a bit from that. I think he took it. I don't know if he took it personally. I haven't seen, but he definitely learned a lot from that.
Yeah,
he looks way better.
He used that as fuel. Like, he definitely has improved so much from that Jake Paul loss, because let's be honest, that was embarrassing. That was embarrassing. Oh my, it was the first round. Oh my gosh, it was crazy.
And I think he was trying to get that Mike Tyson uppercut.
Yeah, he was trying his. I don't know, but
that peekaboo style.
Yeah, that peekaboo style. But no peekaboo I've ever seen. But yeah, but I think he's definitely came back, and he's much stronger now. He's definitely fired up, and he showed it in his last against McBroom. McBroom knocked him down. I think people forget that McBroom knocked in the first round. Like, imagine, like, he ain't get, like, I'm sure that brought back PTSD, like, from that Jake Paul fight. He knocked him down in the first round. It was a hard, clean punch, and he went straight down, and McBroom got all up in his face, but he didn't let that. He maintained his composure. Yeah, got back in the fight and knocked McBroom down like 3 times until he finally knocked him out. Boom. So he definitely looks really good. He looks in great shape this fight, and I'm sure he's coming back with the. It's crazy because it looks like he's coming back with a vengeance, even though he didn't lose. No. Like, he's coming back like he wants something. So
what do you think that is?
I don't know.
I was also thinking about that too. I was like, why?
Yeah.
He fought more than okay. Like, he destroyed McBroom, and I think he's gonna do even better now.
I think it's just pride. It's just ego. Yeah. Like imagine like in the first round, three knockdowns against Jake Paul. Like, everyone's hyping you up. Like, he just loses like that. It's like,
is he still friends with KSI?
I think so.
Yeah, KSI wasn't like, see ya.
Yeah, nah.
When they knocked them down and out, they had the camera to KSI, and
KSI was pissed. KSI was all mad. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I was like, oh, yeah.
He's like, damn, now I gotta really fight.
Yeah, now I gotta fight Jake Paul. He's like, oh no. Gibbs coming back. I'm very excited for that Gibb versus Austin McBroom fight. I think that's gonna be honestly a great fight. And hopefully Gibb can win this whole thing, and then they can set up a fight, him against Slim, because Slim has said he wants the winner of whoever wins the Kingpin tournament.
Oh wow,
he wants the winner. Yeah. And because I think they wanted to have Slim in the Kingpin tournament, but it was like late notice.
Or Ramadan.
It was also Ramadan, and it was late notice. And Slim was like, basically, no, fuck you. And then but he said, I'll fight the winner. He said, I got the winner. Whoever wins this Kingpin tournament, you know what I'm saying, I'll fight you. And if we get that Gibb versus Slim, that'd be a great fight.
I think so. Especially, I would like to see how well he does against McBroom this time. This time, if he is better, he should stop him earlier. It should be more evident. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
he shouldn't get knocked down. He should like, from the first round, the bell rings, boom, dominance. Mm-hmm. So we just have to see. I mean, it's, his performance. Yeah, we have to see this week. I'm very excited for that fight.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah.
Speaking of Jake and Nate Diaz.
That's
interesting.
And you know what was actually very interesting when they announced that fight? I don't know if people have been noticing this or talking about this. It's in August 5th.
It's a while.
That's a while away. Like, they're announcing it right now. I think obviously to build up, the hype and the drama. Mm-hmm. But I think it's kind of interesting. I think it shows, Jake Paul is still a bit like, he wants to take his time with the recovery, because August 5th is a long way away.
Yeah, it's a long way away. I'm not quite sure why they decided to do it all that far. I think maybe built up, but I think Nate Diaz has quite a bit of fan base, and I think the MMA community would definitely be behind him.
Yeah,
especially fighting Jake Paul, the guy who be knocking out every retired MMA.
I swear, he's like what? I think they showed this stat. He's like 4-0 or something against retired UFC fighters. It's like he's undefeated. So, but
what do you think that fight looks like?
I don't know. I don't think it's gonna be a good fight for Nate Diaz. Let's because I think he's gonna get his ass kicked. I think a lot of people listen. Like I got nothing against Nate Diaz. I like Nate Diaz. Nate Diaz is a cool guy. He did a great stuff in the UFC. He completely stopped Conor McGregor's hype train. Remember back? He handed him his first loss in the UFC.
I think people forget though that McGregor moved up to weight classes.
Yeah, and McGregor was piecing him up. I think people forget that as well.
He was doing a good job.
Yeah. No, not a good job. He was piecing him up. He was piecing like it was crazy. McGregor looked amazing, but obviously this is McGregor's kryptonite is the stamina. You know,
weight class higher.
He gets tired. You know,
especially when you fight someone who's bigger than you. It almost works as if you had to expend twice the amount of energy of either defending, blocking, attacking, everything like
everything. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you already have issues with stamina, cardio,
it's just
like that, it's
enhanced,
be more evident.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Absolutely. And so Nate Diaz has done a lot of great, and he's
an icon.
Yeah, he's done great things. He's a good fighter, and he's a good boxer as well. Now we get back. Now we get into the heart of the, like he's a good fighter.
Good MMA fighter.
But I don't know if he's a good boxer because a lot of people say he is a good boxer. A lot of people say he has great boxing. He has great cardio, which he does have. He has very good cardio. He can maintain a certain pace.
But he's slow though. No,
he is not. I don't know. I wouldn't say slow. He's not slow.
Well, what does his punch output look like then?
A lot. High volume.
Oh, sorry,
it's high volume. Yeah. He throws a lot of punches, and he can maintain that distance for 5 rounds, 25 minutes in the octagon. But it's just different with boxing. I don't know. And he let's be honest, guys. He's old. He's what, 39?
I would say so.
He's, you know what I'm saying? Like he's old. Like he's up there now. His last couple fights he's lost. He's like on a losing streak. And his face gets cut so easily. He smoked I think Jake Paul honestly is gonna knock out Nate Diaz.
Yeah, I would say so. Especially just the way Jake fights. I think him fighting Tommy Fury gave him the confidence. Is that he's a big guy. He's tough and he hits hard. I think. Who else is in that weight class?
Cruiserweight.
Yeah.
For influencers.
For influencers, yeah.
KSI. I mean Logan.
You think he's stronger than KSI?
Stronger?
Yeah, because Tommy Tommy tried to bang, but then afterwards he just started kind of like boxing him more, and I think Jake is using that momentum like, oh look, even though I lost, like I was the bigger guy, like the boxer Tommy Fury didn't actually he decided to box him more. I think this time now, going into this Nate Diaz fight, he's definitely gonna knock him out.
I mean, yeah, I definitely think he's. Yeah, I don't think he's still talking some shit about him and Tommy Fury, saying like he was the big boy because he knocked him down and stuff like that. I'm like,
the jab.
Yeah, with the jab, he's saying.
Can you imagine if he hits that same jab to Nate Diaz in boxing?
Yeah, but I mean, I think it was not a slip, but it was just like a flash knockdown. He was definitely not hurt.
That's true.
Because Tommy Fury came back and won the round. I really believe Tommy Fury won that last round.
He definitely did.
He came back and Jake Paul was exhausted, and then he just fucking.
Yeah.
But I think that Jake, we'll have to see. We'll have to see how his mentality holds up.
I don't think he's that much damaged
because
no.
I mean he didn't
get touched.
He didn't get knocked out. Yeah,
if he would have gotten dropped, knocked out from canvas to canvas, or from from corner to corner around the ring, then I think his mentality would shatter a little bit. But I think he's not proud of his performance, but it kind of did show him it's like, okay, I can kind of do this. So they chose the right opponent in Nate Diaz, a big name, fresh off the UFC.
Yeah, he's not signed to the UFC.
Not signed to the UFC anymore, and old.
Yep.
Right up his alley. Mm-hmm. So I think Jake Paul
he meets the criteria.
He meets the criteria. Fighter. Yeah, retired MMA fighter. Yeah. So
I think Jake Paul has a very, very good chance of winning this fight in spectacular fashion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. What else?
Transitioning to do we got any more? Or what?
Oh yeah, I forgot the guy who called out Jake Paul this past weekend. The Coco.
Oh yeah.
What was his name? Is like man, he's the guy who fought Harley Bernstein. I think he was like a wrestler. I think he used to
No
wrestle.
way.
Yeah, he used to be like a wrestler because he looked pretty big.
Yeah.
And in his ring walk, a famous wrestler came out. I'm not even sure who it was. I'm not really tapped into all that. Yeah, he came in and then he stopped. He knocked the dude 3 times. Some dude that was way bigger than him. And then he dropped him 3 times. And then he called out Jake Paul, Logan Paul, and KSI.
Absolutely, I don't know, crazy. I think it's a clown. Honestly, I don't believe he has any.
I mean, he looked good. Like
Did he look like a boxer?
No, he looked like a meathead that's trying to like box.
Yeah, I think those creator clashes. I think they have definitely a certain level of I don't think those guys are taking it as serious as like
The people in Misfits.
That's true.
Yeah.
Kingpin.
Yeah, Kingpin, Misfits. Like these guys actually want to do something like Jake and come on, he's talking about Jake Paul. Like you fought in the creator clash. You know what I'm saying? Get some wins. Get some good wins against in Misfits. Get some, and you get good wins against good opponents. And now we'll talk.
Yeah.
But it was funny seeing that calling out Jake Paul, Logan Paul, any of the Pauls. No, I was checking.
Yeah. Any of the Pauls, and he said if not, then KSI.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they're even gonna say anything.
They're not gonna say.
They're not gonna say anything at
They're not
all.
gonna say anything.
I don't even think they were watching, or maybe they watched the main event.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, maybe they watched the main event, for Deji, because Deji wants that. But I don't think they had. Jake's definitely not gonna answer. I mean, he already has a fight.
Mm-hmm.
Logan supposedly has a fight this year. He's gonna fight on Misfits.
Really?
Yeah, and he actually he had a fight I think in January, but in WrestleMania he like tore his ACL or something. Yeah, so they had to cancel that. But now he still has a fight scheduled. I believe later this year. I'm not sure if it's in the summer or like in the fall. That type of So
that's crazy. Didn't he tore an ACL?
yeah, in WrestleMania,
And
which
he's already
is
back.
Yeah,
Wow, that's crazy.
I know. I guess so.
Yeah.
I guess recovery is getting better and better.
Mm.
Yeah. So yeah, but yeah. I don't know if they're gonna pay much attention to that guy. Cause honestly, I haven't even heard of him, bro.
I ain't heard of him. I don't even know if he has more than just that one fight. Plus, the guy who he fought, he's a funny dude, the Harley Bernstein guy, but he's not.
He's a funny guy, but he's not a fighter.
He's not a fighter.
Yeah.
He came out with I think it was like Snake. The video game Snake.
Oh, Metal Gear.
Metal Gear.
Oh, that's badass. And then he lost. Ah, come on,
He
man.
didn't go through the regular ring entrance. He went from like where the crowd was.
Really?
all the
Oh,
way-
like in the stairs. It was
Yeah,
going down the
yeah,
stairs.
he kept going down the stairs. Yeah. That was pretty cool, but no, he got knocked out.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, but I'd like to see him. What I'm saying, I'd like to see him get some fights in. I'd still like to see him fight because he got a spectacular victory nonetheless. Yeah, he might be calling out more than he can chew.
True.
But he definitely still has some potential.
Yeah, he could ride off the momentum because that's a lot. Like he was just touching him and the guy was going down. Yeah, the right hand, boom, down. It just sounded like, dang. Switching topics a little bit because we touched on it. KSI. I don't think I've gotten your thoughts on him and Fournier.
And Fournier?
Yeah. Because what do we know about Fournier?
We don't know much.
Yeah.
We know he was a DJ. He was a DJ or something. He's like a businessman type of character.
Okay.
Honestly, I had never heard of him before this. He started getting in talks with like fighting KSI. Now I see him, and he's like I think 11-0.
Yeah, he's undefeated. I thought it was like 11-12.
Yeah.
fights.
12-0 against bums. But I mean that's kind of how it goes. A lot of these prospects have fights against bums, so that doesn't really
That doesn't take credit, especially KSI. He's like, boxing isn't his.
Yeah, who is KSI fighting? Like
Yeah.
KSI, other YouTubers like.
Yeah, what do you expect then? Relatively unknown. Then what are you thinking now?
I'm thinking, I don't know.
Given that the public wants KSI and Jake.
Well, KSI is definitely training hard. Like harder than I'm pretty sure he's training harder than all of his other fights. Did you see his I think it was 2 videos ago. He posted or he made a video, black eye.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm talking like a big black eye. People were making fun of him, rightfully so. But yeah, he had a very big black eye, and he said he got it during sparring. But he said he was like it was a headbutt, which I call cap on that. I really believe that, and it's nothing bad. Like he just shows that he's working hard. That's not to say that he's getting his ass whooped. It just means he's fighting good fighters. He's fighting good sparring partners in the ring.
I think overall for the sport of boxing, I think these influencers are definitely help shed light a little bit. And I think a lot of people don't know what boxers go through. And that's KSI. He has millions and millions of subscribers, fans, whatever you call it. And I think people see he's working hard. That's just part of the job.
Yeah,
it's a job, and it comes with it. And a lot of fighters, even big name fighters, get
their ass kicked.
Their ass kicked. They might get dropped. Mike Tyson got dropped before he fought Buster Douglas. There's been other fighters that I can't think of any at the top of my head, but there's been other fighters who they suffer a cut. Earl Spence, detached retina. How do you get that?
Yeah, from sparring. Yeah. Like sometimes in sparring, you need to get your ass kicked. Like if you're not getting your ass kicked every once in a while in sparring, especially starting training camp,
I guess you're just not sparring with some high level guys.
Yeah.
So I think KSI was a bit, or I don't know, scared or nervous to say.
He got his ass beat.
Yeah, he got his ass kicked. And that ain't bad. It just shows,
he's working hard.
He's working hard.
I'd rather see that than him, face.
Yeah.
I know he's not training hard.
Yeah, absolutely. He's definitely putting in that work in, and he's repeated it multiple times, saying, "Oh, this is my hardest fight. I'm working hard."
Well, then maybe that shows us that Joe Fournier is tough guy then maybe.
Well, I mean, it's just because it's a pro. In his mind.
In his mind, he's a harder fight just because in his mind he's like, oh, it's a pro fighter, 11-0, and he's also talking a lot of shit. Saying I'm gonna be I'm gonna be the first one to fight a professional boxer and beat him. Because Jake Paul fell short, and then his rivalry against Jake is still going, and he's saying, I'm gonna be the first one to fight a pro fighter and beat him. So he's talking a lot of shit to Jake Paul, talking a lot of shit to everybody, saying, I'm gonna be the first one, and but he's definitely, I'm sure he's definitely putting in that work in that gym. Yeah, absolutely. So he's gonna come in ready, and I know he got that dog in him. So even if he let's say that Joe Fournier is better skilled.
Yeah.
That's not KSI's gonna be like, okay, then I'm just gonna start swinging like crazy. So then we'll see how Joe Fournier handles just like a dog on him, someone going crazy on him.
Yeah.
Because
I think KSI has tried to improve his boxing skills, and I think he tried to do a little bit with the face temper, the bouncing of on his toes a little bit, but. I still think that when push comes to shove and Fournier proves himself to be a very tough competitor, KSI is definitely going to sit down on his punches.
He's going to revert back to his natural, because that's how that's what happens to everybody. Yeah, I'm sure in the first round he might come out, try to be technical, and if Joe Fournier is just technically skilled better than him, he's going to come out and he's going to look just the same way he looked against his fight against Logan. Just swinging like crazy, trying to knock him out with one punch. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, and, I mean, I think a lot of people don't talk about this because it did only go, 2 minutes against Face Temper. His fight against Face Temper. Only went, 2 minutes. But a lot of people don't talk about the fact that he got touched up a little bit. He was very aggressive, yes.
The jab.
But, Face Temper was catching him because KSI was just coming in, very, very, I wouldn't, kind of recklessly, honestly. And he got caught a lot of times. So, it's going to be interesting to see him fight Joe Fournier, which, granted, I don't know how good he really is. So it's going to be a shock to us all. Maybe he's really good. Maybe he's fucking ass, we just don't know.
We don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know, but I'm excited for that.
Absolutely.
Any fights, though, going back to the Creator Clash, is there any fights that kind of surprised you from the Creator Clash card?
I mean, the knockout that Myth got, it was pretty surprising.
Yeah.
He got a knockout. Yeah, I think it was the second round, I believe, but I can't be too sure. But yeah, he just it was like a simple straight like right hand, and the guy went down, and the guy was hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm interested to see if Myth like is gonna take this.
Yeah, because he's done other stuff. He's done chess boxing too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this was not his first time in the ring.
Yeah, that's,
Nope.
that's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
He fought Shirley.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm not sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
His first fight or this last fight?
I don't know when he fought, but he did like chess boxing. Like he did boxing for like.
It was probably the last Creator Clash.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Excuse me. So that was I'm interested to see if he's gonna take this more seriously or if he's just gonna like stop. But yeah, I was surprised to see him get a knockout victory because I mean he is a Fortnite player.
Yeah, Fortnite.
Yeah, so but I guess that people were saying that right hand is like the Fortnite shotgun, bro. Like boom, So yeah, yeah.
Was that the most powerful weapon?
It was the there was like two types of shotguns. I forgot what they were called
Double
though.
pump?
Yeah, it was like a pump. It was the pump and the fuck, I don't remember the other one.
Okay.
The tactical, I think.
Tactical?
The tactical shotgun, I think, some shit like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, people were saying that. I saw it was funny. People were talking about the Fortnite king got that victory royale. I was like, yeah, he did. He really did.
Oh man, these new fight fans are definitely
They're different.
They're different, but I think it's cool. Like definitely, they're very they're bringing this new energy, the different vibe, and I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, boxing definitely it's like much bigger now. Like I feel like it was kind of dying like in the 2000s kind of ish. Like I don't know, it just maybe not the 2000s because we still had like Mayweather and Pacquiao.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just feel like it's more integrated in like
casual conversation. Like some people just like know sometimes about like boxing now.
Yeah.
Which growing up, we used to box and boxing was a very big part of our lives. We'd always know about boxing and no one would really be into it,
Yeah. Yeah, and it's also I guess the place where you're at. Like if you're from like LA, definitely I feel like that's a more talked about conversation because boxing in LA.
You think people talking about boxing in LA? I don't think in LA.
I guess it depends. But like if you're good from like boxing there, I don't know. It just kind of depends. But you're right. I feel like there's definitely been a less popularity in boxing, more in MMA or I guess in this case
UFC. Yeah, UFC. Yeah. UFC is really big now. Like just casually, a lot of people are like talking about
there's
UFC.
A lot more casual fans,
yeah, and but boxing is getting a lot more casual fans. And hey, I'm all for it. Like I love boxing. So if I'm saying I can have a conversation with like just random people about boxing, even if they know like the bare minimum, I'm fine with that. I love talking about boxing. Talk to me about boxing, bro. I'll talk about all day. Like,
Yeah.
So yeah, I do think a lot of people hate on this new boxing generation, this new boxing era.
It's the old heads, man.
Yeah, it is, and I understand. Like listen, I understand their perspective because in like yesterday in the Creator Clash 2, like. Like some of these, I don't know. Some of these things are so cringe. Like, let's be honest. Like they can't just regularly box. They can't just box. No, they have to do a lot of extra stuff.
Stuff.
Yeah.
Well, some of it's cool. I think there was two female fighters who fought, and then one of the female fighters, I can't remember their name. She brought a whole like cheer.
Yeah,
that's kind of cool.
I think her name was Michelle.
Michelle, yeah, I think that's kind of cool. But like some of the other antics that they do, like
like that, yeah, stuff like that is cool because even boxers do that, like have like crazy ring walks. Yeah.
See, that's cool and that's unique.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah.
But
then what are you talking about?
I'm talking about that national anthem that we had going. Like what was going on there? Like we can't just have a regular singer in there, singing the national anthem. These were there was two guys in like USA attire like tuxedos, right? Or something. Yeah. And American, dude. Cold-blooded Americans, dude. Like it was insane. I was like they were singing and it was not appealing to the ear to say it lightly.
No.
And
off key, huh?
Yeah, they were way off key. Like listen, I ain't no music expert, but even I knew that was off key. Like I don't know where they got those two guys from. Yeah, so
Yeah, we're not singers, we're fighters, but like, not know how to sing.
yeah, like listen, I know someone. I know if someone's good at something when I see it, but that they were not good at singing. So
Yeah, just stuff like that. Like they just have so much extra stuff that
I could definitely see irritating these like old boxing heads, because if you love the sport of boxing, you love the sweet science, then you know what I'm saying. There is something to be said about like taking the,
I wouldn't say taking the piss off of it, but I
No.
feel like that's how they feel.
Yeah.
You know, they feel like they're like these guys are taking the piss off of it, which I don't think they are trying to.
No.
So I understand the perspective. Like they feel offended and they feel like they're disrespecting the sport. I understand how you could feel that way, but I don't think necessarily they're doing that.
No, I don't think so, because I feel like if you were to follow them and what they do and their perspective thing, whether it's like streaming, gaming, or whatever the heck it is, YouTube, that's just kind of how they are sometimes. Yeah, that's kind of how they are sometimes. Yeah.
And it's also like it's just better. Like more people have eyes on boxing. Like more people are just gonna find out about boxing, and more people will fall in love with the sport of boxing.
Yeah.
So like I just see it as a win-win.
Personally, you know, some parts might be a little cringy, some
Yeah.
parts might be a little this, but
All in all, like yeah, I like this influencer boxing. I think it's gonna be definitely be a big part of boxing going into the future.
I think so too. I think it's here to stay, especially the zone renewing the contract with Misfits or something like that. You know,
Yeah.
extending their. You know, they're doing even like a world tour type thing, and I think it's gonna do really good. You got Kingpin now. I think they're trying to build that up.
they're trying to build, and they got some big fighters. Yeah, so in their first event, yeah.
Name fighters, yeah.
Yeah.
Name fighters.
Yeah.
So, very interested to see, how this goes. You know, whether it's influence or just boxing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's really good for the sport overall, and I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, the
No,
boxing atmosphere is very exciting at this time. You know, like I'm very excited. A lot of boxing fights every week, whether it be influencer or strictly stray boxing. Like I'm fine with either, and I'm loving it. You know, I think it brings a new edge to the boxing the experience, the boxing world.
Yeah.
You know, the boxing atmosphere, and I'm all here for it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Let's end on one last question. What fight are you most excited to see?
This year,
Yeah.
that's already been made.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's quite a bit. There's quite a few. You got the Nissan Gibb fight with McBroom.
We talking just influencer?
It could be influencer. It could be not influencer.
I don't know. I really don't know. I'd say, well, I mean, probably. I'm honestly not looking that much forward to like not the KSI, the Jake Paul versus Nate Diaz, because I think like Jake Paul's gonna beat him.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like again, it's
put
just.
money on it, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
okay,
I'll-
on Jake. I got money on Jake, baby. Let's
I'll
go.
put $100.
Yeah, let's go. So Jake, you better make us our money back, bro. Like, but yeah. So I think Jake's gonna do good. I mean, I'm interested to see KSI fight.
Yeah, I'm interested to see KSI fight against Fournier. I think because just from the fact that we don't really know, what's gonna happen. I'm interested for that Gibb versus McBroom because I just want to see like a, I want to see a destruction.
Yeah.
I want to see some knockouts. Yeah.
I think for me, I really want to see the KSI fight because this is a make or break fight. I think if he loses,
Oh.
yeah,
The whole internet is gonna ridicule KSI if he loses against Joe Fournier.
and I think the one who's gonna be the loudest is gonna be
Jake Paul, because I mean he brought it on himself when Jake Paul lost. KSI immediately went to Twitter, was all like smoking on that Jake Paul pack. So if KSI loses in May, Jake Paul is gonna go crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the whole internet's gonna go crazy.
What if it's just like, not like he just loses by like points, like a split?
Don't matter,
It don't
because I mean it was the same thing with Jake.
Was it a unanimous?
I mean, it could have been a unanimous, but he lost on point. Like he lost in the scorecards. He didn't get knocked out, and then he knocked Tommy Fury down.
That's true.
That's true. So there were some redeeming
he
parts.
was- yeah.
Yeah, and then people still gave him a lot of shit. KSI still gave him a lot of shit. So this is definitely a make or break fight for KSI, and he better be ready.
Yeah.
Yeah, he better be ready.
Because if not, then right now I have KSI as number one.
Mm.
Just because Jake lost, But I think if KSI loses, he's definitely not gonna be. Jake Paul would definitely be number one.
Yeah, if KSI loses, he's gonna be the meme of 2023.
No, you know what? The fight I'm most excited about is the Salt Poppy and the Anthony Taylor fight. That just got announced.
Oh really?
Yeah, that just got announced
I didn't
this
even
past
see.
weekend.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
it
didn't
just
even
got
see.
announced this past weekend. Salt Poppy even tweeted it.
Versus Ryan Taylor.
Anthony
Taylor. Oh, against Anthony Taylor?
Yeah,
Oh my gosh, dude. Anthony Taylor's always getting those fights, I swear.
But I mean, he hasn't been knocked out, no?
No. He just lost. He just lost against Idris Virgo,
Yeah.
which is he's a pro, I think.
Oh, he is?
I think so, yeah.
Oh.
I think so.
Yeah. I think Salt Poppy, if he knocks him out, I think Salt Poppy's definitely going to be top 3.
I think he's going to knock him
Because I
out.
think he's already on a lot of people's radars. I think they eyeing him to see
He's in Ryan Garcia's 1.
Ryan Garcia.
Yeah, Ryan Garcia said he's number 1.
Number 1. I mean, he definitely has those, like, he's very calm. Like, he was getting touched up a little bit. Or maybe not touched up a
Not
little
touched up, but he just wasn't dominated.
He wasn't dominating against his last fight against that one dude. What's his name? I don't remember his name.
Buckingham
yeah.
or something like that. Brandon, I think. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it showed that he has like ring IQ. Does that make sense? Like he was calm, cool, collected. He was losing, but like it was all right. And out of nowhere, they left. Stopped him. And he definitely has that. That's the sleeper, and I think he knows how to use it correctly. And I think he, like boxing wise, like ring IQ wise, I think he's better than Jake and KSI.
I think so, yeah. And I think that's why a lot of people are like on that Salt Poppy train right now.
Yeah.
The hype train, yeah. And I think it's well deserved because I mean he looks great. I'm just a little bit scared that he's falling in love with his power. Because in his last fight, that's all he was looking for, that left hand. And granted it did land. But is it going to land on everybody? And is it going to knock out everybody? Yeah. Like, he can't just let rounds slip away from him just because he's looking for that left hand. Because it's not going to knock out everybody, and it's not always going to land. So I think, like, hopefully he doesn't fall too much in love because he does have power, but just, like, box, do what you got to do, win some rounds, and then if the knockout comes. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I think. Yeah, I just think if he's a little bit more active, it's not even like volume punches, but just the act of like touching him with the jab and whatnot, and then going from there, it would definitely boost his like style and everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yep.
All right, well,
I think we're gonna end
wrap
there.
up. The wrap up.
All right. Thanks for tuning. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Whether you agree or disagree, tell us why.
Yeah, we got some hot takes, so drop them down in the comments. We'll be sure to look at them, and if they're good, we'll respond.
Yeah, and let us know what else you guys want us to talk about. And on that note, peace.
Goodbye.